Here we are in the semifinals against Thunderous, aka Johnny in a Bucket. Let's see, we won the die roll. Yes, we would like to play. 2-land, Jessica Sage Palace familiar? Yeah. Looks good. Divination. Yep. Looks good. Ooh, mono red, Crone Crusader. Alright, let's play Palace familiar. Hope to block. Titan Strength on upkeep to control his draw step. Good play. And snap. Blocking. No. Magma Spray, so no value. Magma Spray is perfect against our creatures. So here we can nullify or we can play Jeskai Sage. I figure let's play the Sage. Plays the Storm Breath guy, so now we have to definitely block the Crusader, get our card draw. Phew, at least we hit our land. He dashes his guy back. We want to stop his dash guy, so definitely counter that. Ooh. Ooh, he's got a better dash guy, though. That's a little rough. Not that bad if we, drew another Jeskai Sage, but we're already at 8. Yeah, all these 5 drops and treasure cruises are too slow. Don't even hit our 4th land drop. So we just take another 4. We're pretty dead. Yeah, Borderland Marauder, we're super dead. Radiant Fountain, play Radiant Fountain. Take a million. Don't even have a bounce spell or a blocker. That's game 1. That's how we do it. We get crushed. Game 2. Let's see if this one's a little bit more interesting. I'm pretty sure it will be. Alright, you guys tell me, would you keep this hand, I might. There's some interesting hands that I should send in to PV for his Channel Fireball articles of Keeper Mulligan, in this bastion of competitive prowess. That is the standard pauper SPDC tournaments. Would you keep this? Heck no. Against mono red on the play, too slow. 6 land, 6 hand, no land. Mull. And yeah, guess we'll keep this guy's playable hand. Turn 1 tap land, turn 2 Jeskai Sage. Plays Borderland Marauder. We just hope to chump if possible. He plays Valley Dasher. Yeah, I figure we just need to just chomp just to get ahead. Not take damage. We really don't want to take damage if we don't have to. So there we go. Coral Bear, pretty good draw. Here, attacks with both. Probably shouldn't double block this 2/2 because Titan Strength kills both my guys. Should just block with the 1/3, I think. Your Backdrummer is a little rough. A little flooded here, but at least we have Nullify for his next play, which is Mardu Scout. He didn't troll us with the second Mardu Scout this time. That's pretty great. Ooh, what the heck just happened? Okay, if you noticed, I accidentally just skipped through my block step. I took 5 that turn from 20. When I should have only taken 2 from 18 and then 2 from this down to 16. So I end this turn at 13 and I expletive say ha. I said damn it. Like, how did that happen? I just skipped right through it. So a little rough beat there. So I figure, whatever, it probably won't be relevant, right? So, Treasure Cruise. Nimbus Knight, hope to block. Attacks with everybody. I take the opportunity to just eat a 1/1, take 3 damage, it's fine. And then he Twin Bolts. Ugh. He finishes up my Nimbus Knight. There's a bug in this replay. He actually killed my Nimbus Knight. Huh. What is up with this replay? It just struggles. Alright, get through this replay. You can do it, replay. See, he just paid 4 mana and nothing showed up. But really, he played an Impact Tremors. And I definitely blocked. Alright, this is making me mad. Yeah. is going on. So yeah, I don't go to 2. I don't spend 4 mana and do nothing. I don't not block. So this replay is super bugged, which is really annoying because this is a pretty pivotal game where the game state gets to a point where I stabilize at 4 life, and he has double impact tremors in play, and I have lethal in play. I have like a Nimbus Knight or like a Rise of Eagles token and a Whirlwind Adept, and he basically only has 1 out, and it's Dragon Fodder. And Dragon Fodder puts me to 0 life, and we kind of mentioned like, yep, drum roll, like Dragon Fodder and I'm dead, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, the slow roll, and he goes, I got it, I drew the Dragon Fodder, you're dead. And I go, well, that's really interesting. And then I explained to him, you realize like I shouldn't be dead because the game didn't let me block, or I misclicked, or something happened where I took 3 extra damage. Like, you should have 0 outs. And he goes, huh? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, you know what I'm talking about. Remember when I typed in the chat, like, it messed up. I messed up, or whatever. It's one of those dumb things that in real life, no one would ever misclick like a block to take 3 extra damage for no reason. So I kind of told him like, yeah, I'm not actually dead. And so I'm just like sitting there with Dragon Fodder on the stack, and he's thinking like, why won't he concede, or why won't he say okay? And I'm like giving him the opportunity to make the right play, the courteous sportsman-like play, which is, technically it shouldn't have mattered that he drew his 1 out. He shouldn't have had any outs. I didn't want to get this conversation started in the first place because all he needed to do was draw anything other than Dragon Fodder, and it would have been a non-issue. But he drew the exact out to kill me. So I basically say, hey, I've conceded to someone in the same spot before where they misclicked. I think Forley was the guy playing the Scribe combo deck, and he misclicked his Retraction Helix. But he had the combo, and I was dead. I didn't have any way to interact. And so I conceded to him, and he goes, what? Why did you concede? He's like, I messed up. I was like, yeah, but you can't make that mistake like in real life. Like, I just scoop it. If you just say, I have Retraction Helix, you're dead. It's one of those things, like, where you can't mess up. So to me, the integrity of the game is lost a little bit when you clearly have an intent to do something and it doesn't do that. Now, some things you can't fight, and like if you miss a land drop, or if you have 6-3 your turn, it's like you can't like really help them out too much in that regard. But this was just to me a clear cut case of just like Moto influencing the match that wasn't really real. And I even tried to fuel the fire a little bit and say, it's like I probably would have crushed you in game 3 anyway, because in reality my mono blue decks post sideboard games are insanely good against red. I've crushed them every single time. So I kind of wanted to tease him a little bit and be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just play a game 3 and like we'll see how bad you crush me. I was trying to get him a little bit. But after some mulling it over, he thinks about it and he concedes. He goes, yeah, you know what? Just for fun. This will be more fun. Let's just play another game and see what happens. And I go, oh gosh, I'm in for it. I am in the spot where I'm like, well, it's probably going to be poetic justice that I just get steamrolled this game 3 because I basically got this, I got this guy to concede to me when really he didn't need to. I didn't force him to. I didn't bribe him in any way or anything, right? He decided to after I presented my argument of why. If I was in his spot, I probably would have done the same thing. So now we get to this game 3, and this is super interesting. This hand looks very similar. I had Rise of Eagles, Griptide, 5-land. This is Jeskai Sage, Treasure Cruise. So this one's a little bit better because Jeskai Sage is actually a blocker. And all I need to draw is just like a couple spells, and I'm fine, right? Because that'll fuel my Treasure Cruise. So I figure, alright, I'm scared to mulligan to 5. Let's just keep it. Alright, first draw step, Evolving Wilds. Alright, that's like my second to worst draw step. It actually helps Treasure Cruise, though, so whatever. He plays Borderland Marauder, and I draw Island, the worst possible draw step. Okay. So now I can't even chump this, but do I have to? Goblin Heel Cutter. I don't even get a chance to chump it, so boom, I'm just take 6. Alright, how many people think I'm actually going to win this game? Probably not very many. Here, I guess I can play the Evolving Wilds and just play an 04. So that was actually a very relevant, very good draw step, but it would have been nice if I could have drawn that any other turn earlier in the game. So I'm not at 14 life. He plays the same play here. Imagine he makes it so my 04 can't block. And I figure I just have to chump. I need to fuel my graveyard. I need to be able to Treasure Cruise. I need to not take damage. Draw a good card. Radiant Fountain. I just can't. I'm just drawing all lands. All lands. How in the world can I win this game? Again, it's poetic justice. It's karma. You know, just karma. So I'm like, whatever. Gotta play the Radiant Fountain. And I can't even Treasure Cruise. I'm just time walk this whole turn. I'm destined to take another 6, but because I don't play anything, he's scared, and I guess I do have 6 cards in hand. So he plays his worst creature. Alright, I'm like, I'm fine, taking 2. He must be really confused that I don't do anything here. And he didn't have Titan Strength, so he's probably like, huh. Meanwhile, all this dashing that he's doing, he's not actually developing his board, which is kind of good for me. Another Radiant Fountain. Can you believe this? 15 cards into this deck, and I have drawn 1 spell. That means out of 8 draw steps, I've drawn 1 spell. I guess 6 draw steps because 2 Evolving Wilds. This is like absurd, man. Whatever. I'm like, alright, well, I'm probably just dead. He has 6 in hand, and I have 6 in hand, but I have no gas, so whatever. So, that's just Treasure Cruise. Alright, we finally hit some spells, but we have to discard a land. Now he gets to hit us for 6 again, since he knows the coast is clear. But again, all this dashing that he's done has made it so he doesn't really develop his board. So now I just have to play Rise of Eagles because he already showed, Voyage's End. I think I keep that just because it's gas. But he just, I just definitely block. I hope he plays a spell here. And that's the reason why I didn't block with one of my 2/2s in this spot. It's basically because if I did, he would eat a guy for Titan Strength. I'm not opposed to the 04 dying here because it couldn't trade anyway, so I'm fine with that. That's actually really good for me. Wow, Font of Ire, that's not good. 4 mana, 5 damage, so I'm pretty boned here. I'm in a spot where I know he has Goblin Heel Cutter. I have to play this, and I have to attack with one guy. I have to entice him to use the Goblin Heel Cutter. But at least the Hexproof guy cannot be messed with. So definitely go to trade this time. That works. That's interesting. So this time he's got Dragon Fodder. No Impact Tremors this time, though. Did have the 4th land and another Font of Ire. That's brutal. So now all he needs to do is basically font me, and I'm dead. I basically have 2 turns. So I need to kill him in 2 turns. So I figure I might as well Voyage's End his guy. And I see Nimbus Naiad. Nimbus Naiad is probably my only out in the deck. And I definitely keep that on top. Because now I Nimbus Naiad, get my prowess, and now I have to kill him in 2 turns because I'm already dead on board, right, with the Font of Fire in 2 turns. So the only way I can kill him in 2 turns is if I deal 9 points 2 turns in a row. I can deal 9 this turn, and I can deal 9 next turn just by grip tiding on my turn. But if I do that, he has to fault, which takes all 4 mana, so he can put me to 1. And if he has nothing, then I'm fine. But if he has anything, I'm dead. But if he has anything, I'm dead anyway. So I really don't want him to hit a land. So he puts me to 6, and then he passes, and then he says, you know, if you didn't run this, I wouldn't have done what I did. Yeah, see, now he regrets scooping to me in game 2 because it's kind of absurd that I'm about to win this game 3. And so I'm going for it, and basically my thought here again is he can fault me down to 1 and then upkeep, or just, end of my turn fault me down to 1, then his turn fault me and I'm dead. So I have to go for the kill here, which means any removal spell, Twin Bolt on my bird or any way to kill my bird means I'm dead. I will not win. But I just needed 1 spell. So I target his guy with Griptide, prowess my guy, and that is lethal. So yeah, what does he say? We kind of messed the replay got messed up in the game 2. It just was buggy. So I figured there would be animosity between us from here on out. And I told him, yeah, I've scooped in that spot before. He said I didn't feel right. And I was like, dude, I still think you had me. You just need 1 spell. And he goes, oh no, I'm nowhere near as mad as you were coming off. He goes, no, you just need 1 trigger and then I'm dead. So either way, we weren't. I wasn't mad. He wasn't mad. We were just trying. It's just hard when you're typing on Moto, trying to get a point across. Where, if he would have just said, "No, I'm not going to concede. I'm sorry, you made a mistake. I can't help you." That's all he needed to say, and I would have been like, "Okay, you're right. Whatever. Take it. Take your win." But just know, like, if we were playing this game in real life, I would have won. Because this mistake couldn't have happened, and I actually, I played well enough, my deck was good enough, I would have beat you fair and square. But Moto, has these little mishaps, so he regrets it, and somehow I miraculously beat him this game where I drew awful, and I think he just played this game a little weird. Dash creatures tend to do that. He's just trying to get through as much damage as possible. To play both fonts and not even crack one, and to me surviving basically at 1 life is just absurd. Especially with how bad my draw was. But I played just good enough to make this one of the closest games here. But again, if I kind of want to emphasize the fact that he made a really good sportsman-like play, though, to concede in that spot, which he did not have to do. And I just think that's what I probably would have, if someone would have done the same thing, I'm not opposed to conceding in that spot, too. I've done it before. Again, when someone misclicked on a retraction helix when they had the combo to kill me that turn. So it's a little different, because it's hard to know if one play changed the whole course of the game. It's really hard to know, but it's just like I made a valid argument and he accepted it. He just didn't want us to be mad, but I'm glad he did, because got to showcase the power of this deck and let me go to the finals. And I basically told him right after the match, like, hey, I appreciate what you did. Just kind of to say no hard feelings and sorry that I kind of stole this win from you. I'm going to give you whatever prizes I receive. So basically I would have only gotten 2 tickets right for top 4, and he would have gotten at least 4 or 7 based on if he won. So basically I was saying, like, hey, if I get 4, I'll give you the 2 extra tickets. If I get 7, I'll give you the 5 extra tickets. Basically saying like, hey, I'm not going to make you lose any value for this concession prize wise, even though these prizes are they're chump change. They're chump change, but they imply the same thing. Competitiveness and whatnot is still the name of the game here. But that's the kind of sportsmanship and the kind of level of camaraderie that I really, as a host of SPDC, as someone who really enjoys Standard Pauper, it's like, again, we're not playing on Grand Prix, we're not playing on Pro Tours. This isn't a Grand Prix top 8. If this is a Grand Prix top 8, or even if it's a PTQ, even if it's a PPTQ, there's not a chance he concedes on that spot. There's probably very little chance that I concede in that spot, because it implies too much when you're talking Pro Tour and livelihood and of thousands of dollars and stuff like that. But for the community that we have, we need to realize, we're playing for chump change tickets. This is casual competitive. I care more about the competition of the decks, the meta game, the sanctity and the integrity of the game. And if someone's going to misclick or something, and they let me know, oh shoot, I misclicked that, I'll honor it and I'll concede if I was dead on board and stuff like that. So yeah, just a interesting thing that will come up, and I'm sure it could spark some interesting discussions. And I know there's plenty of people that will be on the side of, well, you made the mistake, you idiot. That's your fault. Learn how to use Moto. And I would not fault that argument. And I just want basically the community to be good to each other, support each other, and we'll invite more players, more new players that way, and just not really, succumb to the same pressures that, elite level Magic tends to, suffer from when you get kind of cutthroat like that. It's only the really, really top pros who've been there, done that, have tons of winnings. Do they really understand what it means to concede someone to someone, or help a friend out because they need to hit the platinum level and they concede to them where they could have won thousands of dollars or something, but it's a better EV for your friend to make platinum rather than you to win your first top 8 or something. So yeah, there's just tons to discuss about it, but I'm glad the way it happened, because again, I am too competitive, and I appreciated having the chance to at least fight back, and definitely got super lucky to win this game. This game was an awful draw, and I got lucky to hit this Nimbus 9 and whatnot. So yeah, interesting match for sure. So stay tuned for the finals.